Has Donald Trump become the one president he never wanted to be, all because of Iran and the economy? Chris Christie thinks so.
What struck me was that Donald Trump is about to become what he never, ever wanted to be, Jimmy Carter.
Yes.
He is being held hostage by Iran. They are holding the Strait of Hormuz hostage. As a result, they're holding the world economy hostage. And it's focused at Donald Trump. And I know from talking to him over the last 24 years, the one person he would never want to be is Jimmy Carter.
I've talked to him about Jimmy Carter,
right?
too.
And here we are. And it was all voluntary.
He hit him right in the Carter there. We already talked about Iran, so I actually want to look at the economic angle of this first, if we can. There's a poll, Gallup last week put out a poll that asked if Americans think it's a good or bad time to find a quality job right now. And if you look at this, right, in January of 2025, 45% said it was a bad time to find a quality job, 48% good. Now it's 63% say it's a bad time to find a quality job, 33% say it's a good one. Now, here's the thing. This doesn't ask whether it is a good time or a bad time. It's whether you think it's a good time or a bad time. This is the feels. Yep. And that was Jimmy Carter's problem. It was the feels. Yeah. So are we moving into this zone now where Donald Trump is being plagued by the feels?
It's the jobs report that came out last week, and the White House kept saying, but it's 4.1% unemployment. Like, look, I worked in the White House. I know it's like when you're trying to sell inflation and go, but look at it internationally. And people down in Alabama are like, what does it matter what's happening in the EU on inflation? I'm talking about what's happening right here, and it doesn't matter if you're at 4.1% unemployment. I am sending out applications for jobs every single day, and it is unfair when you're giving statistics to be given back just feelings, but that's what you really sign up for.
That's a political issue, right? Yeah. I mean, at the end of it, feelings don't always match up with reality. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And this case, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. I mean, you can look at the economy, you can see growth is clearly there. We're seeing actually better jobs being created right now with higher wages. Now, does that matter when you it's still exceeding. We're still seeing wages exceed inflation, but it's
not.
close.
No, we're not.
I'm saying overall, over the course of it's clearly going in the right direction. But there are aspects that aren't. And when you get this close to a midterm and you are getting hammered with political ads and coverage in media, it's going to create a feeling that doesn't always completely match with everything. And that is a problem for the Republicans and for Donald Trump right now.
Well, the bottom line is not just feelings, also the facts matter as well. Record farm bankruptcies, jobs numbers are not great, despite what people are saying. The economy is not as great. You know, Donald Trump constantly talks about the stock market, but, you know, the majority of Americans, that doesn't matter to them. But here's the thing. Perception is reality. Perception is reality in politics. Just ask what happened to the Democrats and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris in 2024 when inflation was down to 2.9% in October, which should have been a crowning achievement because it was down from 9% in 2022 under Biden. But it didn't matter. People didn't feel it. So you have Donald Trump out here claiming that affordability is a hoax. He's over here bragging and saying, well, the polling numbers, they're mad at Republicans. They're not mad at me. He's delusional. And so this is why Republicans are panicking, because Donald Trump is too busy focusing on vanity projects and other things and a war of choice. And people are very upset about that, including his own base, who he has betrayed on every single issue he promised them in the election.
And John, let me just pick up on Tara's point there, because one of the reasons that Trump was elected was this idea that he would lower prices. Now, inflation had more or less flatlined until, to get back to where we started, he decided to go to war with Iran.
That's right.
Oil prices go up, gas prices go up, inflationary pressures go up, inflation goes up. So he has, to Tara's point, betrayed those voters who voted for him primarily on that topic. He simply hasn't delivered. And the reason he hasn't delivered, the reason it has in fact gone in the opposite direction, is a decision he made. He didn't need to make it, but he decided he would go to war with Iran, and here we are.
Y'all are making a pretty good argument for nominating some non-controversial moderate Democrats this midterm election cycle. Yeah. And by the way, where you are doing that, you're polling quite well. James Tallarico in Texas, Josh Turek in Iowa.
Yes.
Is this an endorsement?
That's right.
It's not an endorsement,
exactly right. But he's not corrupt.
It begs the question from previously, right? Like, so why run with Abdul El Sayed? Why run with Francesca Hung? It's a crazy, politically suicidal thing to do.
But this is why Republicans aren't panicked the way that people are claiming. They're looking at the numbers, and they're obviously not pleased with the direction. But this idea that they're panicked, no, they're salivating at the idea of going up against El Sayed and Hong and all these others who they can very easily paint as the future
going back,
of the party.
if people can remember way back to 10:15 in our broadcast, when El Sayed was responding to the president calling him a jihadist, he talked about this really doesn't do anything to your grocery prices.
Right.
No, he insulted the president's marriage is what he did in response to that.
He did. And then he talked about the grocery prices there.
But then again, Donald Trump
and then he
insults
talked
people
about
every
a
day.
noun and a verb in APAC.
But hang on, he didn't talk about APAC in that answer. But it just is groceries a response to what these guys are talking about with the attacks that Democrats are seeing right now?
Yes, because if you're explaining, you're losing, and everyone knows that in crisis comms. So, he does have baggage that he has to overcome. However, the pivot to the economy and how that's impacting people's lives is the way to do it. You have to control the conversation because Republicans are going to spend hundreds of millions of dollars in this midterm. Democrats have to be prepared for that messaging battle, and that's going to matter.
Democrats are running on raising taxes. That's what Medicare for All is. It's a tax increase for every American.
We are going to react to all of your feedback, no doubt. Substantially positive that you wrote in on CNN.com/Abby.